Good evening and welcome to um, trade trade Bitcoin in passive form. I'm welcoming myself because I am not a financial advisor or anything like that. So do not invest or trade or do anything according to this video or any other of my videos. Uh, I'm I'm in a bit. I'm in flu. I'm sick at the moment, so my voice sounds more awful than it usually does. But let's all try to survive from this set. Uh, Again, not much has changed since the last piece, uh, but that was a note myself. Not much has changed since I made the last piece, but I just want to point out what I'm doing next, basically. So I haven't updated this line. I have to do it now while I record this video. So let's take the daily. So as you know, if you have followed me on Twitter, you know I closed my short. We reached the primary target, what I have been posting uh, way over a week ago, uh, and we finally hit there. I was honestly a bit doubtful that we will go there. Once we went there, I was sure we will hit that target, but once we started this movement, I wasn't that sure anymore because the wave structure doesn't it, it it's not that good looking, but that's the one we have to live with without going uh, any more complex structures. If you want to do it by WXY counts, then it's easy to make it look nice, and it very well can be, and it probably actually is, but I will not go into that. We we live like it's a regular ABC because nothing says at the moment that it can't be that. There's no invalidation points that will break it. Okay, so what's next? Of course, next, since we now hit the target, we hit 33.50, so it was $5 below the original target, which was 34.55, but we hit at $5 low. In exact was 34.50. So technically, it's a hit almost to the tick. So now we have a possibility that we have formed this uh, slightly irregular uh, B wave bull flag, and it all depends if we go and touch that roof over there. And then we'll confirm that this is the pattern. The pattern itself doesn't give me any. I don't honestly give a shit whether this is bull flag or not. The wave structure is important, but if you draw patterns, like I've said before, you must identify the wave structures inside the patterns. Otherwise, the patterns are, in my opinion, useless. Then you can, if you identify the wave structures in the patterns, then you can avoid false breakouts because you basically know where they will go, or at least you think you know where they will go with more confidence. So, mm, so what's next? Uh, I believe, and I'm still in my hedge long position, which is relatively small. So if I make the profit by riding that long up to this area, which I will close it before that line, I will not get a celebration for it because honestly that position is relatively small compared to the position what I had in short one when I closed that, and it was nice to close it today. I would be more happier if I my nose weren't swollen and uh, dripping dripping liquid stuff out of my nose holes. Nose holes. I don't even know if it's a official term for them. Okay, my nostrils. Yes, that is, of course. So, so let's get to the point. So I believe we will make this movement up there, and let's make the exact point where it should hit, because previously it was 4599 because of the hypothesis that this was the bottom. But now that it's not, then the exact point is 4570. So let's change it to 4570 to remember it now. So that is the point where we should go, or at least near it. So if this C is 1-to-1 relative to this A, it also can be 1.272 or 1.618, which are the most common ones in with the 1-to-1 relation. But why do I believe the 1-to-1 relations is the area where it hits? There's two reasons for that, what I have explained before. And those reasons are that anyway, this 4,500 to 4,700 area is the where we have uh, most of our resistance points for our earlier weekly support, daily support, 4-hour support, which have now transformed into resistance. That's one. The other one is that if the bigger wave structure is like I have described here, the green wave 2, which is up there, retraced 0.618 approximately, not uh, not quite there, but almost there. And this area here is almost 0.382, so it's in quite nice relation to that also. So it's very likable target that it will hit there. If for some reason it extends way above there, I will only fill more shorts above there until we break 1.618 level as this C wave. And if we go like $100 in these prices above it, I will get stopped, not a second before it, because I'm still expecting us going very very hard down, very hard. So, and other reason why I don't expect us necessarily to dump now, why I expect us to bounce, is because if we look at the volume, which is very important thing in my opinion, if you trade, you have to know the pressure of sell or buy volume. If you look at the moves we had in December, mid-December, when we started to go up above 4,200, the buying volume, it was small, but it was relatively high compared to the sell volume and buy volume we have had since we have gone down, because the general movement we had now been since mid-December has been down. The general movement has been down, and also the volume in daily has been down, or any other time frame it has been down. And even the excuse me, even the dump today wasn't that hard what comes to volume, so I don't see that it was fast move like any moves currently has, because there's not much uh, buying or selling resistance in both ways. When the move decides to make when the price decides to make the movement, it makes it, and it's not required of lots of volume to do it currently in this current uh, uh, how do I say, in this current environment. So I don't see this as very strong dump. That's one reason why I expect us to bounce up. We can make a new lower low, still lower low compared to this structure, uh, but I don't expect that to be very much lower than we had already gone. I just don't. Mm. And if we happen to do that, I will get stopped from that hedge long, which is now not hedge anymore because I don't have that short position anymore since I closed it with nice profit. Have to mention it so you don't get mixed up. It's not hedge long anymore, it's just long. And I get stopped in it, but I don't care if I get stopped in it because it's, like I said, it's relatively small. And it's, yes, okay. So then I get stopped by it. And if for some reason we start to dump, we don't form this structure and we are actually already going down, and this is like the first subway of the third wave going down, and this was the first. If we make that assumption, which I doubt, like I said, but if that's the case, then for me it means that I will try to get my next long from this area here, because then I don't expect us, if we start to dump now, then I don't expect us to go lower than this green line here yet, because then we are not actually in this green 4, then we are in this turquoise 4, and the turquoise 3 has ended there. So if we dump now, in my opinion, we only dump to this area, sub 3k area, and this is where I will try to buy more, because then I'll expect us to go there. But if that's not the case, and I'm correct, then we should start the pumping up pretty soon actually. I have to transform this there because I expect us to hit there the last day of this month. We should start going up soon, in 2 or 3 days at tops, and reach that level in 1.5 weeks. And then after this level has reached and everyone has turned to bulls again, I'll expect us to start a more massive dump, and that dump will take us to the near 2k levels, and actually that is the lowest point I'll expect that dump to take us. And then depending on where this lands, if it lands there, we will not go that high again, but if it lands like here in this point, we should reach at least nearly to 4k, back to 4k. The 4k is our will be our like our major resistance zone to 4k to 445, and how I see it. But if we reach lower than the 35,000 will be the one that forms the resistance area, which will be hard to pass. And actually that area here will be a major resistance once we try to climb up there. But like I said, that's the thing. We will not see this. We will probably not see this on February ending of this dump. It may come to life in like March or even April, possibly. But it will come. I expect that to come anyway. So that's how I currently see this. If you want to see the bigger picture, how I see this thing, you should watch the first video I made in this terrible English, and there I have explained how I see this in bigger picture. And you should also follow me on Twitter and join our Discord, so I'll update more stuff in there. And we have a nice community there, which is still relatively quiet, but we are growing. We are yes yes, we are growing. Uh, okay, but let's see how this rolls out. Whatever happens, I'll be ready. If I get stopped, I will be probably out of position for 1 to 2 weeks, meaning if we dump now, because I will get stopped and I will not enter a new position until we reach this area here, and it it may take time to reach that area. And I'm not interested in those smaller pumps and dumps. What comes if we start to dump? And to once more, I'll summarize what I believe will happen. I believe this is the thing that will happen. We will bounce from this area to that area, and now currently for 4,500 and above that is the area where I start filling my shorts again. Okay, so that's all I have to say. Good night, and stay safe, and don't trade or do anything stupid like that. Bye.